see lots of kids, so hopefully moms are around as well. How long is a human mom pregnant for? You just shut the animal. 9 months, exactly. Perfect. We think babies are pretty thankful. They're not beluga moms. Beluga moms are pregnant for about 14 to 16 months. That's a pretty long time to be pregnant. So there's a little bit of a window there. Also, we weren't sure when conception happens exactly. So we expected the calf sometime between the beginning of June and the end of September. In all of our wisdom, that's what we came up with. Sometime between the beginning of June and end of September, we were expecting a baby beluga here in the habitat. So we started watching Tiqa, the mom, 24 hours a day, starting on June 1st. We didn't notice anything really changing, no behavior changes, until the morning of June 10th. The morning of June 10th, we went into we came into the aquarium and saw our youngest at the time and one of our most active belugas very inactive. So she was kind of near the center of the habitat, not moving around a lot, not interested in breakfast or her trainers, and that is very uncharacteristic for Tiqa, who's just coming back into the main part of the habitat. So we knew something was up. We thought maybe something was going to happen that day. We noticed she was curling her tail under herself a lot throughout the morning, and that's probably her a sign of contraction. So she's undergoing contractions. We were waiting for her to go into active labor. For human moms, again, what's something that usually breaks to indicate that you're in active labor? Water, exactly. That's actually true for belugas as well. So belugas' waters do break, but if you take a look at where they live, in the water, it can be really tough to actually see when a beluga's water breaks. So instead, we look for another telltale sign. We actually look for the calf's tail to emerge from mom. And that's our clue that, hey, she's in active labor. So males and dolphins are born tail first most of the time. So that we look for the tail of the calf and it emerged just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we knew she was in active labor. We started the timer. We know we have about 2 to 4 hours before the calf was going to be born. And she was finally born at about 4:28 in the afternoon on June 10th. Now when she first was born, she came up to the surface and took that first breath all by herself. And there was something a little bit weird about the whole thing. Mom, Tiqa, was on the far side of the habitat. She really wasn't interested in the calf at all, and she looked a little bit nervous. Now, if we think about Tiqa, I did mention that she was born at the aquarium. She's actually never seen a live birth before, and this is her very first calf. So fair enough that she's a little bit nervous. She gave birth to about a 4.5 foot, 100-pound or 50-kilogram baby beluga, and maybe didn't really see it coming. So fair enough, she was on the far side of the habitat, not really interested in bonding with the calf right away, and that's okay. We could understand where she was coming from. For first-time human parents, who's a good person to turn to for advice if you're a little nervous the first time?
Grandma.
Grandma, exactly. Conveniently, we had the calf's grandmother just to the side in the animal care area. So she was just off to the right here. Aurora's just down below me now. So all we had to do was open the gate. When we opened the gate, she swam into the habitat and swam right up to the baby beluga, Tiqa. She was swimming with the baby and bonding. Tiqa, the mom, started to watch from the other side of the habitat and get closer and closer and more interested, and that's exactly what we were hoping to see. But then we ran into a problem, one that we didn't really see coming, but we probably could have predicted if we looked at our own lives. We ran into the problem of overprotective grandma. Grandma did not want to give the baby back. So at that point, we decided it was probably in the calf's best interest if we moved Grandma off to the side to the animal care area where she is now for a little while to make sure that Tiqa and the calf had lots of time and space to bond and establish nursing. And that is exactly what happened.